Hello, BookTube. It is Monday morning. The kids are at school. For those of you following the chicken drama, the chicken went home at dark last night. And chicken's back this morning. So we may have an issue on our hands. But anyway, I thought I'd do a shelf tour before I ran in to do a little bit of work this morning at the library. So start off here. This is volume 1. I'd love to find volume 2. This is George Railroad Martin, Dream Songs. Excuse me. And this is Bantam Books. And this is 2007. It's the first edition, first printing. Has an introduction by Gardner Dozois. Part 1 is A Four-Color Fanboy, Only Kids Are Afraid of the Dark, The Fortress, The Death of His Legacy, and Death His Legacy, excuse me. 2 is The Filthy Pro, The Hero, Exit to San Breda, The Second King of Loneliness, With Morning Comes Mistfall. Part 3 is The Light of Distant Stars, A Song for Laia, The Tower of Ashes, and 7 Times Never Kill Man, The Stone City, Bitter Blooms, and The Way of Cross and Dragon. Part 4 is The Heirs of Turtle Castle. Having trouble speaking this morning. The Lovely Songs of Larendor, The Ice Dragon, and In the Lost Lands. We'll see the Ice Dragons again, I think. Unless I have misplaced it. Part 5 is Hybrids and Horrors. You have Meat House Man, Remembering Melody, Sand Kings, Night Flyers, The Monkey Treatment, and The Pear-Shaped Man. So quite a collection. You have some illustrations in it. Like I said, I'd love to find volume 2. And then, moving right along here, in paperback I have Game of Thrones. Now I read this when it first came out. Book 1 of Song of Ice and Fire by George Railroad Martin, Bantam Books, New York. Here's your map. Read the first couple of them when they first came out, and then something I lost track. It was long before it was really famous. And I thought it was good. I lost track of it, and then years later with the TV series, of course, that brought it back to mind. So here we have Clash of Kings. I did watch the HBO series, a couple years of it. My wife has them all. She really enjoyed them. This is Storm of Swords. As those of you who've watched me for a while or who know me, I'm not a big TV or film guy. There are exceptions. This was Feast of Crows. So I tend to start things and never finish them as far as television or movies. Well, I'd finish a movie if I see it. Okay, Naomi Novik, 3 novels of Temeraire. In His Majesty's Service, you have His Majesty's Dragon, Throne of Jade, and Black Powder War. Love these. Haven't read them all. I've read all these, but I haven't read all the ones in the series. Sort of like a Horatio Hornblower on a dragon is all I can think of. Sort of that adventure-y type of thing. A couple of transverse books here. We have Dragonlance, The Kaganesti, The Lost Histories, Volume 1 by Douglas, looks like Miles. When they do these fancy lettering, Niles. Sometimes it's hard for me to tell. I have not read that, that's just a recent pickup. Then we saw Stephen R. Donaldson on an earlier hardback, The Ill-Earth War. This is The Last Dark, The Last Chronicles of Thomas Covenant. I haven't read this. I picked it up because I found a deal on it, and I thought I was going to do this whole Thomas Covenant read-along, and I just couldn't get into it. So And here's Stephen R. Lawhead, and this is Hood, and it's King Raven. The legend begins anew. There's end papers. It's King Raven Trilogy. This is the only one I have. King Raven Book 1. Westbow Press, 2006. It's a little Robin Hood fantasy type of thing. Then here we've got one of these box sets. Terry Goodkind. You got the Wizard's First Rule, Stone of Tears, and Blood of the Fold. Try to hold on to these. A little beat up. I've had them for quite a while. And then we add to it Soul of Fire. I like these alright. The next one I like a real lot. I need to get the second one and get onto that. And again in a paperback, which this thing's 1,000 pages at least. Yeah, over 1,200 pages. This is Brandon Sanderson, The Way of Kings, book 1 of the Stormlight Arcade. Really, really liked it. Good read. It's a bit of a challenge with something this size because you don't know what you're going to get. You get yourself into a project. So I figure we've gone, 6 minutes? I'll just keep going across the top here. I was originally going to work my way down. I'm almost wondering, because that's how I set up. Yeah, I'll work my way down. So here we go. R.A. Salvatore, The Companions, Forgotten Realms, The Sundering. Right here. So this is like a Dungeons and Dragons thing. Love the artwork. Another R.A. Salvatore. R.A. Salvatore, Starless Night. R.A. Salvatore, Forgotten Realms. And once again, R.A. Salvatore, The Crystal Shard. This thing's getting banged up in there for some reason. This is a Legend of Drizzt book. They got a big trade set, multi-volume set of those Drizzt books that I wouldn't mind having. I see them at the bookstore all the time. Then we have Brent Weeks. So, this is the Night Angel trilogy, which I really, really liked. This is The Way of Shadows. My brother got me to read these. Shadow's Edge. And Beyond the Shadows. I know he has a new series, or a newish, that he's been doing for a while, and I have not read that, but I did enjoy this. Then a couple Steven Erikson. We've got Gardens of the Moon, Volume 1 of the Malazan Book of the Fallen. This is like, what? It's been out for a while. Let me see. This was Tom Doherty Associates book, so it's Tor, New York. Yeah, 1999. Time flies, doesn't it? Wow. Not too long ago, at least to me. This is another one of those, the Malazan Book of the Fallen tales. This is Deadhouse Gates. Then we get into some Robert Jordan. I've read the first couple, which I don't have. I like them with some reservations, which is fine. They're massive books, and it's a massive series. I've started to see the hardbacks around, so I'm starting to pick them up. So they're way out of order here. So this is Book 10, The Wheel of Time. Earlier I did I've got a big collection of his art books there. Then here's the one with Robert Jordan and Brandon Sanderson got together. Well, that's a combination they make for a big book. This is book 14, the final volume. These things are massive. I will collect them all. But may take some time. Then here is New Spring, the novel, The Wheel of Time in the Beginning. think this grew out of, was it one of those like Robert Silverberg anthologies where he came in and, I don't know if they would tell us. Oh yeah, first published in Legends. So yeah, that was the birth of this. There's Jordan. Then an author that's been around for a long time, he's passed away since, I believe, but who's been around for a long time that I just got into, and I just finished this like a week ago. David Gemmell, Sword in the Storm, book 1 of the Gigante. Really, really like this. Really like this. It's like a, this tribe, they live on an island or a continent or something, and then you have to cross the water, and on that continent, there's one empire that's just wiping everybody out, just taking over everything. And eventually they're going to come for these guys. And the hero of the story knows that. He's a young fella. And there's a little bit of magic. There's a lot of sword play, strategic thinking. The world building is very interesting. So I really, really like it. This is also a novel of the Gigante, Midnight Falcon. Love the cover, by the way. But I probably won't get into this till I find a few more in the series. So there's Sword in the Storm I have. Oh, wait a minute. Maybe I'm wrong. So Midnight Falcon looks like it's next, and then Ravenheart is forthcoming. Oh, okay. Cancel that. I'm coming back and reading this one. Probably pretty quick. That's how much I liked them. And then another David Gemmell. This is a Dream Saga adventure in the realm of the wolf. In the UK, it was called Waylander 2. I might like to find a few of these in this series before I take off with this. So how do you do this? So this is a Janai Saga adventure. I don't know how it works. Oh. First one's Legend, then there's King Beyond the Gate, The Quest for Lost Heroes, then Waylander, and then In the Realm of the Wolf. So I've got like 3 or 4 of them I need to find before I read this one. But like I say, that first Gigante novel, I really, really liked it. And then finally here, this was sort of an interesting find. This is Jeff Vandermeer, City of Saints and Mad Men. Really odd, interesting, wild ride of a book. Let's see. Ambergris, city of elegance and squalor, of religious fervor and wanton lust. And everywhere on the walls of the courtyards and churches, incandescent fungus of mysterious and ominous origin. In Ambergris, a would-be suitor discovers that a sunlit street can become a killing ground in the blink of an eye. An artist receives an invitation to a beheading and finds himself enchanted. And a patient in a mental institution is convinced he's made up a city called Ambergris. Imagine its every last detail and that he's really from a place called Chicago. One never knows. So, we'll end it here. 13, 14 minutes is long enough. I'll try to do a couple other videos this week, and like I say all the time, NaNoWriMo's taking up a lot of time, but I'm having great fun with it. So, thank you, BookTube.